Good evening. My name is Dominique Newkirk. Today I will go over the abnormal psychology of assessments, better known as psychological assessments. This is an understanding of clients' symptoms, functioning in their background. Also, this is used to diagnose and create treatment plannings. This is all done through a period of time. Assessments can be done to um, help make treatment plans for an individual who is suffering from maybe a mental health issue. This is used to diagnose it, or also it can be used for employment reasons. I'll go through some of those today. So, the background behind the psychological assessment is there's like different key components that is used. Clinical interviews, which are structured and unstructured conversations that is done to gather history, symptoms, context, behavior observations. Just the client is placed in different settings to identify various behavior, moods, and changes. Psychological testing, the intelligence, maybe for like IQ testings, personality inventories, and also like a symptom checklist. Neurology and biology assessments. This is like tools of imaging for lab tests and those sort of things. Also, we want to keep in mind that this should only be done by a professional, like a psychologist or someone that is trained, and it can only be used for that. So this can help make determinations for a person's memory, attention span, like the IQ, how they think, things of that nature. Even illness, certain illness like an MRI, PET scan, um, things of that nature. This can diagnose a gifted person. Maybe someone have an Einstein running around, so they can measure IQ. An example that was given during the video was a Caucasian individual and an African American individual when they did an IQ study. It shows that the Caucasian individual scored higher than an African American individual. So that can be used in statistic studies as well. Also, behavior assessments. I'm going to use a case study. I believe for the football player, I believe his name was Aaron Hernandez or Rodriguez. Please don't quote me, but this individual, he was incarcerated for murder. During the time of him being incarcerated, he did commit suicide. There was a study that was done on his brain, which kind of predict that most football players, based on them banging their heads or their bodies, it caused damage to his brain, which they had determined that he did suffer from some type of depression, and also which gave him some type of mood disorder. I guess his defense attorney was trying to show that the impact of his brain being shaken throughout the years of him playing football um, caused him to react by eventually taking someone's life. So these tests can be done for various things, which is very helpful. Certain neurology imaging, EEG, CT, like I said, MRI scanning, PET scanning. This is these are tests to basically research the brain. It's imaging of the brain, seeing how the brain function that can be used. There are also testing to access the cognitive effects of the brain for like brain disease, mental illness. There are various ones, a trial making test, a clock drawing test, Boston naming test, a memory scale test, just to name a few. So these are various things that can be done and helpful to make certain determinations when it's needed to figure out an individual. It's very helpful for diagnosing. It's very helpful to researching the brain and things of that nature. So I hope you learned something new. Thank you for watching. Once again, my name is Dominique Newkirk, and I went over the psychological assessment.